Welcome everybody. All right, this series is coming to an end. It is pretty surprising to me. So, wow, amazing, amazing. So for those of you who are here live, thank you for being here. And I know many of you will be watching the recording. So Rudy has decided to join us tonight. So he has literally been on the back of my chair for, I cannot tell you how many classes I have taught in the last 6 weeks, probably 20 to 25 classes, and he has been on the back of everyone. So, so he's a trooper. So we are going to be talking about service mindset. Really, we're going to be diving into gratitude. We're going to be covering a whole lot of things. And so tonight is, when this is being recorded, we are having our midterm elections here in the US. So for anybody who wants to just take themselves into a happy place, because it can be a stressful time, no matter what your belief system is, we're going to go into a happy place. That's what we're going to do. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Allie Phillips, and I'm not going to talk about anything remotely close to diagnosing, treating, curing, and preventing any disease, but I always have to give that qualification. And for those of you who don't know me, I have been an attorney for 28 years, specializing in criminal prosecution. And my specialty within that is family violence and animal abuse. So not fun stuff. And so that probably makes sense why I have really turned toward essential oils and crystals and mindset work, because that was a hard career to have. So I'm a legal educator. I publicly speak and present at conferences all over the world on my specialty of how animal abuse links to family violence. And as a result of that expertise, I created a nonprofit that I run called Sheltering Animals and Families Together, and I help domestic violence shelters create on-site pet housing programs. And to date, I have about 300 shelters in 46 states and 5 countries, and it's expanding, which is awesome. But I am also the owner of Manifested Harmony, a business I started over 11 years ago. And I have about 7 or 8 certifications in energy healing, coaching, mindset work. And I blend everything together along with my 10 years with Young Living essential oils, and help people holistically with a multi-pronged approach. And I specialize in animals because these guys can feed off of our stress and also need help. So this year of well-being, I can't believe we are in the 11th month. My goodness, it just seems like last week that I started this, but this is a free service to my essential oil team and my Sacred Shift membership group, which I'll actually talk about at the end of this. But I felt very compelled, just because of how stressed everybody is. I just wanted to open this up to everybody. So I hope this resonates with you, but we're going to talk about, and all year I've been talking about well-being, and there's so many different prongs to well-being. I mean, it's a deeper form of self-care, and self-care is not getting a mani-pedi. It's not. No offense, it's not. It's a lot deeper. And so this is just one prong on the wheel to really help us find deep well-being in our lives, because we live in a very changing world energetically. And I could absolutely go down a rabbit hole for about 3 hours on that topic, but I'm going to spare you all. So as always, for those of you who are here live, if you have questions, please type them in the chat. And then when I get to the end, you can absolutely unmute your line and ask any question that you want. All right, so let's talk about service mindset as a form of well-being. So, when I look at people who have well-being, they have gratitude. Like, they live a grateful life and they give back. Like, they do these two things simultaneously. And then I look at people who have a lot of struggles and they have a lot of problems and they have anxiety and they have worry and they just can't seem to pull themselves out of the hole. And I find that they're not living from a heart of gratitude and they're not giving back. So this is such a good question that you can ask yourself every morning. What good can I do today? And it's one, I have several questions that I ask myself every morning. Who do I need to serve? Who do I need to talk to? Who needs to hear from me? Who needs help? What good can I do today? And you're always going to get the guidance. And so, before I dive into this, if things are not going your way or if you have struggles, one of the best things that you can do is give back. And I'm going to talk about ways that you can do that. Because if you spend too much time focusing on what's going wrong or focusing on what you don't have, or you struggle with anxiety and worry, you're actually going to bring more of that into your life. Your thoughts are basically like placing an order on Amazon, and it's going to be delivered to you. So if you shift your focus to how can you help? How can you help others? What can you do? What do-gooder activity can you do? Your energy is going to switch dramatically, and it's going to alter your life in a very positive way. So that's such a good question that you can ask yourself every morning. And then you just have to listen. What good can I do today? And then listen. And watch for the signs and the signals, because they're going to come to you. So when I talk about well-being through a service mindset, it breaks down into three categories, really two categories. One is emotional and one is action-oriented. So gratitude is not an action. It is an emotion of appreciation. It's a selfless act that you show someone you appreciate them, but it also is an internal act of selflessness to show that you appreciate who you are, what you do, and what you have. And it's interesting because ancient philosophers said that gratitude is a key virtue to a civilized society. The more people who have genuine, authentic gratitude in their hearts, and that gratitude always comes out as helping others, that is the key to a civilized society. I think we need a lot more gratitude in our society right now. As I say that on midterm election night, let's just sprinkle a whole bunch of gratitude all over the place. Hey, if you have the gratitude essential oil, why don't you take a whiff of that right now? I'm going to be talking about this later. So the way I love to take in oils is 3 very deep inhalations, like very deep, so that the oil goes into the bottom recesses of your lungs. Oh, I'll just take one, but man, that smells good. So with gratitude, the universe, universal energies, God, source, whatever you call your creator, loves genuine, authentic, grateful energy. And, it's not about posting positive graphics on social media and thinking, oh, I just checked that box of gratitude. No, that doesn't do it. And it's not about regurgitating 3 things that you're grateful for, you know, in your mind as you're hustling to get out the door in the morning. Gratitude is not a check mark activity. And believe me, I have a to-do list where I love to check things off. This is not a check mark activity because it's not an action, it's an emotion. But it's an important daily practice that can dramatically change your life. I'm actually going to recommend a book at near the end. That's a phenomenal journal that I really recommend you check out if you struggle with this. And so when you spend time each morning and evening focusing on what you're grateful for, and it's coming from an emotion, not action. Like you just genuinely, like you look around and you're like, wow, I'm really grateful for all that I have. That's an emotion, that's not an activity. What it does is it shifts your energy away from problems and what you don't have. Because if you're focused on problems and focused on what you don't have, that is a resistant energy, which I'm going to talk about when I get to the law of give and receive. So gratitude is far deeper and far more emotional than naming 3 things each day that you're grateful for. It's asking yourself, why are you thankful for them? It's digging deeper. And if you've not had a daily gratitude practice, if you've struggled with it, like you know you should, but you just haven't gotten into it, then add in the why. Add in the why, and that can really change it. But remember, this is emotional. This is an emotional thing. It's not an activity to do. It's not a to-do list activity. And there's been a lot of research on gratitude that when you genuinely live with a heart and a mindset of gratitude, you have greater well-being, you have deeper, more fulfilling relationships, including with yourself. You have improved optimism, increased happiness, greater self-control over self-destructive habits. You have better physical and mental health. I mean, it is a win-win across the board for doing this. So why would we not do it? A lot of times people say, well, I don't have time. Again, this is not a to-do list to check off. It's coming at it from an emotion. So I'm going to talk about some lifestyle techniques, some oils, some crystals, some things to really shift you into this energy, because it's an energy. It's an energy. So service is another way to find well-being. And this is not about being a servant or a doormat for the people in your life and feeling unappreciated. That is not a service mindset. It's when you come from a place of gratitude, it is about being and wanting, genuinely wanting to be of service to others, especially in your work, you know, of giving value to people who are struggling for answers, sharing what you know, because it may change the life of somebody. I mean, shockingly, when I created my business, Manifested Harmony, in April of 2011, I was still a full-time attorney in the DC area, and I was on an airplane all the time, traveling and teaching. I didn't have time for another business, but I was so compelled, like I couldn't say no. It was divinely guided that I had to start my business because I had learned so much at that point that I knew other people needed this information. You know, I only had at that point a couple certifications under my belt. Now I have about 7 or 8, but I knew that I had to share it because it could change somebody's life. And now I look back more than 11 years later and it's like, whoa, whoa, you just never know. That's being of service. And when you have a service mindset, you're literally sending out the energy and the vibration. How can I help you? rather than what can you do for me? You know, so one aspect, well, actually, a lot of my whole business is about selling people to understand how a class could help them, how a crystal could help them, how an essential oil could help them. And a lot of people have an aversion to selling. We are sold to every minute of the day. Literally, you go on social media, you're sold to all the time. When you feel the ickiness of selling, it's because it's coming from an energy, what can you do for me? But when it comes from, how can I help you? Like, what do you need? Tell me what you need. Let me match your pain that you have to something that I think could help. That's a service mindset. That's what I mean by that. So it's being of service, whether it's in your work or just in your personal relationships. And what this ends up doing is it draws in people to you and abundance. And also charity, you know, giving your time, giving your expertise, giving money, just giving your energy to a cause that you care about is a form of well-being. Because when you give to another organization or a person, it is without expectation of anything in return. It is without an expectation of recognition or acknowledgement. And what you get is an infusion of the feel-good dopamine, and it feels really great to help. Now, this can also include giving to yourself. You know, always make sure that you're giving to yourself so that you can stay, you know, rejuvenated so that you can give to others. So let's talk about that. The law of give and receive. I would love to know in the chat, have you ever heard of the law of give and receive? So there are universal laws. We may not know about them, but they literally govern everything. The law of gravity. Clearly, we know we have the law of gravity. It keeps us attached to the earth. We may not understand it. We may not know how it works, but it's there. Nobody doubts it. The law of give and receive is a universal law. So let me break it down. What you give is what you receive. What you give is what you receive. People like to think that they are givers, and I'd say many people really are. But there are also people who just take. And when someone takes and does not equally give, it creates an energy imbalance. And that'll create an imbalance in your life. And you'll feel this energy from takers because it's off-putting. Like what I said before, instead of what can you do for me, that's off-putting. It's switching it to how can I help you? That's giving. So this universal law is like a river that must flow. And if it doesn't circulate and flow with give and take, it'll clog and it will become stagnant. So, you know, if you feel like something is stuck in your life, pick any area of life and give more to it. And then be ready with a receptive heart. Like, don't push things away, be receptive. Because the intention behind giving is so important, and it really must be unconditional. You know, don't give with the intention of receiving, and don't give begrudgingly, because both of those block this energy from flowing back and forth. It's about giving with no expectation and with the sole purpose of doing it for the joy of it. And, you know, then the energy is actually going to come back to you exponentially. And every day, so I love to people watch, whether it's in person or online. Human beings fascinate me. They fascinate me. And I'm not being sarcastic. I think human beings are fascinating. And so I'm always like, I feel like I'm in this human experimentation. Like I'm always learning from people, learning what works, learning what doesn't work. And every day I do see people who are takers that don't give. They are takers. They're not consciously doing it. It just happens to be their energy because they don't have gratitude in their heart. So they take. They take to try to fill themselves up, but you got to fill yourself up. You got to fill your own gas tank in your car because those, full service gas stations are far and few between. You got to fill yourself up. And so these people who are taking, they're not consciously doing it, but I see them take money that they've not earned. They take kindness that they have not reciprocated. They feed off of the good energy of others, but don't give it back. They don't give back good energy. And what I begin to notice is that things go wrong in their lives. The energy is literally being choked off and suffocated. So think about how you are living within the law of giving and receiving. What can you do today to give and be grateful for the sake of giving? What good can you do today just for the sake of being a do-gooder? Because that is the giving part of the law of giving and receiving. So for givers, receiving can be difficult. I know a lot of people, a lot of my students, a lot of people in my oil team, they are givers, givers, givers. They're giving stuff away. They're giving away the farm. They're giving oils away. They're giving crystals away. They're literally giving things away. And then they're like, why is my business not growing? Well, because you're literally giving away the farm. It's like, you got to find that happy medium there. And I find that people who love, like genuinely love to give, because it brings them joy to give, they have a difficult time receiving. And if you're not receptive, that chokes off the flow of energy back to you. And then you're going to wonder why abundance evades you. And so if abundance is evading you and you're a giver, you just pinpointed the reason. That is precisely what is happening. And it comes down to being non-receptive to what is coming back to you. It's having the attitude of, no, you don't have to give that to me. I'm good. Somebody offers you a gift. Oh, no, thank you. I'm good. They offer you a compliment and you brush it off. When you are non-receptive in one area of life, it actually creates non-receptivity in all areas of life. Ooh. And I actually tested this many years ago and made myself very consciously aware of when I was put, because I'm a do-gooder giver, and I was literally pushing away the receptivity of good things trying to come back to me. And you have to catch yourself. You have to be very, very present to catch yourself and flip this around. But sometimes being resistant to receiving can come from just negative emotions in just living in this world, because sometimes it may feel easier to just shut down and not connect with people so that you're not disappointed. But then you're going to have a lot of struggles and abundance isn't going to come to you when you shut down, because you literally put a brick wall around yourself, and abundance is on the other side and good things are on the other side. Knock, knock, knock. Kind of like, okay, I'm totally going to date myself, but the old SNL skit, knock, 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 land shark. I mean, it's like that, but in a good way. So, if you can't accept a compliment, you may find that abundance isn't flowing to you. And if you can't accept a material gift, you may find that positive, healthy relationships are not flowing to you. So it's important to accept and receive so that resistance melts away. So today, tomorrow, for the, every day going forward, when something is offered to you, graciously accept it. That is the universe testing you. You're such a do-gooder. I'm going to have your neighbor come over with a plate of cookies. Don't then flip it around and give her something, because then you're you're challenging that energy. It has to be give and receive. Then you can do another give to receive, but don't feel guilty, don't feel shame, don't push it away. When somebody gives you a compliment, don't brush it off. You know, if they say, hey, your hair looks great today, just say, I know, isn't it fabulous? I mean, everybody would laugh. Somebody said that to me today at a networking meeting. I'm like, I know, isn't it just awesome? And everybody cracked up. And that's the thing. But if I were to say, I need it cut, and I just don't like it, that's like a major downer. So accept the gifts, accept the compliments, because you're being tested to see, are you really in a position to accept the big things that you want, like your goals and your dreams. If you can't accept a compliment, you're not going to get abundance. Not going to happen. Okay. So, just a couple of other things on this. If look at all aspects in your life of how give and receive is working. If you want love, you have to give it. If you want kindness and respect, you have to give it, not conditionally, you have to give it. If you want non-judgment, you have to be non-judgmental. If you want drama-free relationships, you have to be drama-free. If you want appreciation, you have to give appreciation, okay? Do you see where this is going? And if you want financial abundance, you have to give financial abundance. And it can be money or it can be your time, because your time has a price tag on it, especially if you're your own business owner. I know exactly what my hourly time is worth. So when I go and, spend time, especially helping animals, I mean, I'm not checking it off in my brain. This is, the equivalent of a $500 donation. But it can be of service. It doesn't have to be of money. When you give your time, the abundance is going to flow to you. But if you hoard money or you hoard your time, it stops the circulation. And this is why volunteering and donating is just a beautiful form of well-being. I mean, just charity is a beautiful form of well-being. In my networking, one of my networking groups, our motto is givers gain, and they do. Givers gain. All right, so all year I have been moving up the chakra column, and we are now at the crown chakra. All right, and if you're not that familiar with chakras, these are energy centers in the body and outside of the body that govern the body as well as our energy field. And so the crown chakra is literally on the top of your head like a crown, and this is your divine connection to your creator. It's also instant knowing. It's that very wise knowing where you just know something and you have no idea how you know it. You trust it. You just trust this information because it's coming from a true, genuine creation source rather than from the ego. The ego wants to keep you safe, but higher self, God, this universal energy is always in your best interest. And so when your crown is open and it's flowing, you're going to realize that you have more than you think you have. And you're going to feel more gratitude rather than seeing the negative in your life. Like it's going to become a very genuine emotion. It's not going to be a to-do list to check off. Okay, that's what the crown chakra can do for this. Now, physically, the crown chakra covers and feeds energy to your pineal gland, your pituitary gland, your brain, your nervous system. So, if you struggle with nervous system imbalances or poor short-term memory, poor coordination, ringing in the ears, bad vision, your crown chakra could be struggling. When your crown chakra is balanced, you're very thoughtful, you're very aware, you know how to show gratitude. You know how to be of service to others, and it fills you up. Like, it doesn't deplete you. It's not, oh, now I got to do this on my busy schedule. That's not a service mindset, and that's not coming from gratitude. That's just a to-do list that you have to check off. So your crown chakra, when you balance it, you're very thoughtful and aware of this aspect of your well-being, and you have a spiritual connection, and you're open-minded and just very wise, because the knowledge that you get is from a higher source. Now, if your crown chakra is depleted, you may find yourself being cynical and engaging in separateness, where you don't recognize that we are all connected, that we are all one. And you may have uncertainty in your life and lack of purpose. And if it is excessively producing, you actually may get headaches and migraines. But you may find that you become like overly intellectual, and you kind of lose this spiritual connection. And that can cause a lot of confusion. So I'm going to talk about some oils and some crystals in a little bit that can help with this. But I'm also going to talk about oils and crystals that can help just with this service mindset. All right, so let's get into just some. I always like to give some lifestyle recommendations, because I know not everybody may have oils, you may not have crystals, but there's some easy things that you can literally do, like today. All right, so a morning routine of gratitude. This is where it's not a to-do list check off. That's not what you're doing. You're giving yourself quiet time to feel appreciation. You want to feel it. You just don't want to sit and write out 3 things that you're grateful for just so that you can check it off, or you don't want to run through it in your head. You want to feel it. Like, what do you really deeply appreciate? I deeply appreciate Rudy being my chief financial officer. He's always sitting here. He's looking over my shoulder. I know what he's doing, but I appreciate it. So it's when you can create a morning routine of gratitude, you just set your day off on the best energy possible. If you have a stressful job, if you manage everything for your family, that can be stressful. If you just have a stressful life, if you're full of worry and anxiety, this is a must do. And it can just be 5 minutes. If you can't give yourself 5 minutes, then you probably need to rethink your schedule. We all need time to ourselves. And this is a really, really good thing to do. Now, you can even get a journal, and you can write your emotions of gratitude and appreciation, because writing is important, because it activates more parts of the brain so that you really do feel. Donate money or donate items. I mean, most people have too much stuff in their house. Go through 1 room a week or a closet a week and give it away for free. When you give it away for free, you never know who it's going to end up in the hands of that is just going to be so grateful and deeply appreciative. That child's toy, or that stuffed animal, or that sweater that you bought and you only wore it once and you just don't like it, that could just make somebody's day. So it doesn't even have to be money. You can literally declutter your house, and that is an action of gratitude. That is a form of gratitude, of giving back. Volunteer time. Gosh, when was this? Oh my gosh, it was 10 years ago. I wrote a book. It's still on Amazon. I wonder if I have it here in my bookshelf. I do not that book. Anyway, it's called Defending the Defenseless. And I wrote a book for people who love to, they love animals and they want to get more involved. And so I wrote a book with every possible scenario of how you can help animals, from basically giving your expertise to a cause. If you're good in finances, go to a nonprofit that you love and offer to do the books for them. If you love to build things, we just in my networking group brought in a nonprofit that is a senior farm animal sanctuary. I went and visited it. Oh my gosh. It's on my Instagram page if you want to look at it. It was last Friday. And when I was talking to them, I said, you need to tap into all of the tradespeople in our networking group and ask them to build stuff for you. They may not donate money to you. Ask them to build stuff. And sure enough, today they showed up and they said, hey, we really need help building kind of a carport. As winter comes, we need to provide some additional shelter. So, what kind of expertise do you have? Can you build something? Can you help an organization with their social media? Can you write a newsletter or a blog or call people or help at events? Give your expertise to a call. I do a lot in the animal protection world, and so many people say to me, Allie, I can't go into shelters to volunteer. Well, I understand that, but those animals are only going to survive if volunteers are in there. Everybody, we all know that we go in and we take pictures and videos, we post them on social media, and they're going to get adopted that way. So you can truly save a life. But if you're like, no, I will have to be hospitalized and medicated because it will be so sad for me, then do the other things. Do the other things behind the scenes. Give your expertise to a cause. Give yourself kindness and respect. If you're hard on yourself, that is not well-being, okay? And you're not being of service to yourself. So be kind and respectful to yourself, and then you're going to find so much is going to come back to you when you do that. Be of service in your work. Always give value, help people. You have knowledge that other people need, share it. If you know something, share it. I mean, it's the entire reason I created my business. It's like, I'm taking all these classes. Nobody knows this stuff. I just need to start teaching. And now look at what it is. I mean, I walked away from a full-time legal career because the information was so needed. You have information that people want. So be of service in your work. Send handwritten notes to your clients, to your customers, to your friends, just for the sake of doing that. I love doing that. I love doing that. And it's so unusual these days to get a handwritten note in the mail, but it means a lot. Engage in one act of kindness a day, and you get to decide what that is. I mean, it could be as simple as, you find a spider in the corner of your bathroom and you scoop it up in a little cup and put it outside, assuming it's not super cold weather. Yes, I actually have a spider living in the corner of my bathroom, and his name is Garth. And I talk to him every day and I'm like, Garth, we're going into a Michigan winter. I'm not putting you outside. So you better be able to find food. I don't even want to know what it is. You cannot freak me out. I will make sure that the cats don't eat you, but you are literally here until April. So hunker down. And it happens every year. I always have this one little tiny spider and they survive. That one act of kindness a day, it could literally be as easy as that. But it's also learning to be receptive. When a gift is given to you or a compliment, accept it, because the energies are testing whether you are receptive and whether you are ready for more. Okay? Be receptive. Okay? All right. Let's talk about crystals. Let's talk about crystals for a service mindset. Okay, I had to narrow it down because I could give you about 800 crystals. These are my top 5. Amethyst. Amethyst teaches us all to be thankful and to turn pessimism and negativity into a high vibrational energy to share with others. I mean, that's what amethyst does. It's just going to raise your vibe. It is so great for relieving worry and stress and anxiety. And that's what stops people from giving back, is worry and stress and anxiety. So if you have to like stuff an amethyst in your bra or stick it in your pocket, do it. Do it. Let it work on your energy. Angelite is also a good one. This is a good crown chakra crystal to really open your crown chakra. It connects you with angelic energies, and it shifts your energy to where gratitude and giving are just natural. It's just who you are. Clear quartz is also a crown chakra crystal, and clear quartz's only job is to move chi, energy in the body. That's its only job. So that's why it's known as the master healer. It does everything. So it's going to remove the energy blocks that are blocking the flow of gratitude, blocking the flow of law of give and receive, and it's going to open the crown chakra. Now, with clear quartz, you have a huge variety to choose from. I mean, you could have a Lemurian quartz, a Himalayan quartz, a Tibetan quartz, a Herkimer diamond, all sorts of clear quartz out on the market. So that is a good one. I recently got some gorgeous Brazil and Madagascar clear quartz clusters. Oh my gosh, I haven't even offered them up for sale yet. They're so gorgeous. They're amazing. So yeah, you want to get some clear quartz. That's really going to help. Danburite. This is also a crown chakra crystal, and it's known as the crystal of enlightenment because it has such a pure, sweet vibration to it, because it opens the heart into an energy of giving and gratitude. It's a law of give and receive crystal and a gratitude crystal. And then last but not least, kunzite awakens your heart to break down the walls, open up to unconditional love, which then allows the flow of gratitude, the emotional flow of gratitude to happen, including gratitude for yourself. And then that'll open your heart to being of service and to help those who are struggling and closed off, because there's a lot of people in that situation right now. Now for oils, it was hard to limit, but the oils that I really like are Divana, Palo Santo, Gratitude, and Highest Potential. So Divana is fascinating. It smells different to everyone, and it smells different on everyone because it literally adjusts to your energetic frequency. It's fascinating. I just love it. I love it, love it. And so this is an oil that taps into your energy, and it can bring mindset changes in a very subtle way. So if you feel like the law of give and receive is being choked off, I mean, nobody's ever going to step up and say, yep, I've been a taker my whole life. Just look at whether the law of give and receive is choked off and not flowing for you. Work with Divana, because it will make the subtle changes in your mindset to get you into that flow. I mean, Divana adapts to your energy to raise it from where you are to where you need to go. So it'll open your heart to new ideas and opportunities. It's a great transformation oil, quiets mind chatter. So it'll help you with morning gratitude time. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I can't even tell you what it smells like because it's going to smell different to you. But I love how it smells. Palo Santo. This is your law of receive oil if you struggle with receiving. So, if you give and give and give to the point of depleted, you're not going to be receptive, and you're not going to be able to receive the good and the abundance that wants to flow to you. And like I said, if you're non-receptive in one area of life, you're going to have non-receptivity in all areas of life, and that's resistance. So being resistant to receiving, that's a big block. And, you know, this is an oil that you want to work with because it banishes a negative energy that may be getting in the way. It helps you step over fear. It calms your mind. It helps you listen to your wise inner voice. And it helps you give the best of you to everyone. I mean, historically, Palo Santo has been used to, you know, basically smudge away negative energies. Well, if you're not able to receive, there is something blocking that, and it could be an unwanted emotion that you don't know is there, but it's got to go. I mean, it could be unforgiveness, it could be anger, it could be resentment, it could be fear. Work with Palo Santo. It's amazing. It's a phenomenal oil. It does so much. The gratitude blend. Okay, I'm going to take another hit of the gratitude blend. I love this oil. I keep it here in my office, right up on that shelf. So gratitude is about being thankful for what you have right now. All right, in the chat. The chat's not going to be seen on the recording. So in the chat, type me one thing that you're grateful for right now. I want to see what you're grateful for. Because gratitude is about being thankful for all the warts and the frogs in your life. Okay? Everything. And like I said, the universe loves a grateful person and will give you more to be grateful about when you exude genuine gratitude. All right, so I'm seeing, I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my dog. I love that. I love that. Yeah, I'm grateful for Rudy. Rudy, we're all grateful for you. You're such a good helper. So, you know, the gratitude, oh, grateful for me. Big hearts. Oh my gosh. That's so sweet. Thank you so much. So this oil, I love it. It includes some very powerful grounding, empowering, and emotional balancing oils to really awaken and expand your heart, connect your heart chakra to your crown chakra, and open the flow of life. So basically open the law of give and receive. It's like the floodgates are going to open. And it smells amazing. I like to wear it as perfume. It's amazing. Rudy, you want to smell some gratitude? Yeah, what do you think? It's a little strong. It's lovely though. I love it. All right, and then highest potential. You know, this is the oil that I typically go to when, you know, when I need to stretch and reach for something that may seem out of reach. And if you're thinking, wow, you know, I really don't have this law of give and receive flowing because I'm literally choking off the abundance in my life. I have no idea how I'm going to get there. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Here's the thing. You don't necessarily need to know the steps. You just have to take the steps as they're given to you. So you got to be aware. You got to be present. You got to not be stuck in your phone doing this all day. You know, you got to be present. Highest potential is going to connect you to your highest source through your crown chakra. It's great crown chakra oil, so that you can live your life authentically. And when you live your life authentically, you're going to be in gratitude. And when you're in gratitude, you're going to want to give to others. It's like one step on the ladder. When you live authentically, you're going to have gratitude. You're going to want to help others, and then you're literally going to reach your highest potential. So it's a great oil to work with for this. So, all right. The book that I recommend is called I Choose Joy by Danelle Delgado. It's a great book because she guides you through it. It's a journal. I mean, you can literally write in it. You can work with it. She guides you through a daily practice to really tap into this, because then once you can get in the habit of looking at things from a grateful heart, and you can use your oils and use your crystals to get into that energy, it's then just going to become who you are. you're totally going to shift. And then you're not going to necessarily need to have a morning gratitude practice, because you will go through life grateful for what you have rather than looking at what you don't have. So this is a really, really good book to work with, or a workbook to work with. All right, so I am grateful for all I have, all that I give, all that I receive, all the opportunities before me to give and to be of service. That's really what this month is about. And when we can shift into that, rather than focus on all the problems in the world, all the problems in your life, all the things that you don't like, you may not like what happens with the midterm elections, but here's the thing. You can't change any of that stuff. It's all in here. It's all in your heart. What are you appreciative of? What are you grateful for? Because you have a lot. You have a lot to be grateful for. You have a lot that you can give. And if you can stay open, you have a lot that you can receive. A lot of opportunities will come to you. That's what this is about. So rather than focusing on, catastrophe, focus on the good. Focus on the good. That's why. And oh my gosh, I've probably done this the last 8 or 10 years, 8 years. I have had a class on election night and I've done it for a reason. Let's just shift into gratitude. Okay. All right. Let's shift into gratitude. Snort those oils, hug those crystals. All right. If you are not in Young Living, whoever invited you to watch this, get with them so they can help you get started. So you can get that Divana, the Palo Santo, the gratitude, and the highest potential. Get with them. If I invited you, there's my information on the screen. But we need more people oiling up. Oh yeah. And if you don't have that common sense oil, I always joke about it on election day. It smells really good. It really does. It's an amazing oil. I actually use it when I'm writing because it helps me be very focused. So all joking aside, it's a great oil. You might want to think about it. I just love it. All right. If you have not taken my Oily Crystal Masterclass, it is now available on demand. Oh my gosh. 4 classes. They ran almost 2 hours each. There's a 70-page workbook. In the back of the workbook, I give you definitions of crystals and oils. In the live classes, I give you oil blends that are not in the workbook. It came out so well. It was 22 months of work putting it together. And usually I find lots of things to change. Before I, do it again. I can't think of one thing to change. And the testimonials that have been coming in, I got to get them on the website. People loved this class. It'll take your love of oils and crystals to a whole nother level. It'll give you a whole new way of looking at them, because it's not just only about blending oils and crystals. It's about pairing them separately and just looking at it from a whole different perspective. So if you haven't taken it, it's on demand. You can take it whenever you want. Okay. You can watch it whenever you want. So I hope you do, because it's awesome. It really is. I'm patting myself on the back. I'm very grateful for what I created, that I listened to this nudging that I had to create it. And I'm grateful that I created it for everybody, because everybody has loved it so far. All right, Sacred Shift. If you do not know about this, this is a group that I started about 2 years ago. It's a membership group. And oh my gosh, the transformations that I am seeing in the ladies in this group is beyond words, beyond words. I literally take everything that I know and I pour it into the Sacred Shift. And we are coming at it from the perspective that we are in an energy shift. The energy is not going to get softer and easier. It's going to get more intense. But if you know how to flow with it, you're going to feel good. you're going to feel good while everybody else is angry and stressed out and raging and fearful and freaking out. And you're just going to be over here playing with your crystals and your essential oils and understanding planetary retrogrades and foods to eat that are seasonal and exercise and cleansing the body. I mean, literally, it's everything to help you feel good in body, mind, and spirit to flow with this shift. So if you want to join, there is a coupon code. And if you are in my oil team, message me privately because you have a 50% off to get into this in my oil team. Okay. So it's such a great group. We just had our meetup on Sunday for the month, the big education one. And I just love it. I just love it. It's such a great group. We have a lot of great conversations and we're all growing. We're all doing this together. All right. And other classes coming up. My annual visioning class is coming up Saturday, December 17th. It's 3 hours online. And I am going to teach you my goal setting and goal achieving system that I have literally spent 15 years tweaking, and it works. It's how I can have 3 businesses and get stuff done. So it's very interactive. We have a workbook you're actually going to go through and you're going to do things. It's going to be live on December 17th and then on demand after that. And then crystal classes are coming back. Everything is online as well as in person. So I literally just finished crystal season last Saturday. And so they will start coming back in February and March. All right. And that is all I have. So I am going to go ahead and stop the recording. And if you have any questions, they will not be recorded, but we can just go ahead and chat. So for those watching the recording, thanks for being here.